Here we go on a Wednesday. This is The Herd, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. We are live in Los Angeles on iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. You can just feel real football getting closer. College football this weekend. NFL, this is week 3, so you'll have teams, starters playing the entire first half. Joy Taylor is joining me. I can feel it today. I can feel it, fellas. It feels like we're inching closer to bursting through the gates onto the field for real football.
Oh, no, we're here. Because week 3 is really when you get to see mostly what you'll start to see the first week of the season.
Yeah.
So.
I was seeing a story yesterday where Adam Gase of the Jets said our guy should expect to play at least one series in the third quarter. So here we are. So Jerry Jones, let's start with this. Jerry Jones is very shrewd and is very calculating. You know, through the years, Jerry's reputation is a lot of ego, and he's got plenty of it, and a lot of vanity. But when you can sit in a room with 31 other billionaires and they listen to your advice, you're pretty smart. The NFL owners listen to 2 guys, Bob Kraft of the Patriots, and a lot of that is because they win the most, and then Jerry Jones of the Cowboys, who doesn't win that much, and they listen to him. Jerry's very shrewd. He's a high-risk taker. He is very calculated, and he's got a ton of leverage. So yesterday, what did Jerry Jones do? Because he wants to sign Ezekiel Elliott, and he has been going public with his son, Stephen Jones. Misses a practice. Jerry could have signed any of his players to a long-term deal. But instead, he chose the one player who grew up as a Cowboy fan, the one player who almost had his football career end, the best story of the Dallas Cowboys, the most beloved player, his defensive signal caller. Didn't have to. Contract wasn't up. That was a message. And then after he signed him and praised him for being the hardest worker, the best story, an amazing person, always supportive, wants to be a Cowboy. Could have done that with any player. He could have signed Zeke yesterday, Dak, Amari. He could have done any player. He picked Jaylon Smith. And then did you notice what he said about available money now available?
There is less pie left, make no bones about it. You have as many high-quality young players as we have. You have to allocate your resources wisely to keep and have all of those players.
Oh, boy.
You have to do that. That's called team building. And I will assure you that this was about team.
Boy, if you don't even have to reach for that stuff. Many good players. Team building, not about the individual. There was another bite Jerry had yesterday, and there was some animus. Jerry was angry. And as shrewd and as calculated as Jerry is, he's human. And he got angry when asked about the joke, poking Zeke in the ribs about, who's Zeke? Zeke was offended. Here's what Jerry said to that.
Look, I've earned the right with Zeke to joke. Period.
Right.
I've earned it.
So, have you guys had any conversations since then at all?
No. Okay. But let me be real clear about it. I've earned that right to joke.
Okay. Why would Jerry be angry? Oh, I don't know. Because Jerry tried to get the NFL commissioner fired for not defending Zeke. So Jerry Jones drafts Zeke. Zeke gets in trouble immediately. Jerry goes to the wall for him. The fans bail on him. Media people like me bail on him. The NFL bails on him. The commissioner bails on him. And Jerry goes to the wall for him. And you pay him back going to Mexico and 2 years out, holding out. And you don't think Jerry's justified with a little bit of his anger? A little bit? I mean, if I defended you, your mom wouldn't, your dad wouldn't, your job wouldn't, your boss wouldn't, your industry wouldn't, and I defended you, and I tried to get your boss fired, don't you owe me a solid? just a little solid. I don't always take the owner's side. But in this instance, Jerry defended Zeke to the core. And make no bones about this, Jerry has all the leverage. Jerry just doesn't have to pay Zeke for 2 years. And then he can franchise him. Zeke's career could be over. He doesn't have to pay him. Doesn't have to pay him. You can say, well, the Cowboys won't win. Well, what are they winning with him? Well, Jerry wants a Super Bowl. Well, hell, he's wanted one for 20 years. It's not like Zeke was giving him something that he hadn't had. Jerry's already won multiple Super Bowls. Jerry's already a billionaire. Jerry's already winning divisions. Jerry's already losing playoff games. What would Zeke furnish him that he doesn't have? Yes, it is now personal. So personal that Jerry got on the phone a year early with Jaylon Smith, a linebacker's agent, and took care of him. Jaylon Smith should send Zeke a thank you note because that's who got him paid. Yes, Jerry's angry. You would be angry too if you went to the wall for somebody who got in trouble with the law and they paid you back with a holdout. You wouldn't like it either. Let's shift to the Raiders. Antonio Brown practiced in a certified helmet. He is officially back. You know how we all have qualities we like in people. And we all have qualities, that we don't like in people. And it depends on your childhood and your personality and your DNA and your temperament. I've always tried to be honest about this. I don't like needy people. I've gotten rid of needy friends. I've never married anybody that's needy. I don't like needy bosses. I take great pride in being self-reliant. You could ask my agent. He always jokes. We never talk. You could ask my bosses. You give me this show, you don't have to show up for 4 years until my contract's out. We'll talk about a new one. My bosses don't hover around me. My agent doesn't hover around me. I take incredible pride in being a grown-up, in being a man. I think it's very male. You don't have to babysit me. You don't have to pander me. I don't need mommy and daddy around all the time. When you're a football coach at the college level, you do deal with 16, 17, and 18-year-olds. And so there's a lot of love. You got to send them the love in recruiting. You got to go to mom's house, and you got to eat the dinner and the 13th apple pie on that recruiting trip. But once you become an NFL coach, most coaches, because, by the way, college and pro both pay a lot of money. The reason a lot of guys don't want to coach in college, they don't want to have to constantly, babysit. They don't want to deal with kids. They want to deal with men. They just want to deal with football. So how frustrating would it be to have a 31-year-old veteran NFL star and have to constantly pander to him? If I was John Gruden, I would be embarrassed. I'd be worn out. There was something on HBO's Hard Knocks. He's having to constantly gas up Antonio, tell him how great he is. Again, he's not a 17-year-old wide receiver from Midland, Texas, who you're trying to recruit to come to Purdue, and 10 other schools are offering you scholarships, maybe 20. I get showing the love. Age, the sport. But, God, by the time you get to the NFL and you're a 9-year veteran, do you have to pander then? Here's John Gruden pandering during AB's holdout.
I know you got a lot of people in your ear because you're like a corporation that's kind of gone global. Yeah. But at the end of the day, let's keep this simple. Yep. You know what I mean? Football comes first.
Absolutely.
Everything else way behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Let's because you handle all that seamlessly. Beautiful. Huh?
Seamlessly. I like that word.
I was trying to come up with a multi-syllable.
That's a great word. Seamlessly.
Yeah, 3 syllables.
I'll look that up.
Yeah. They don't have those at Dayton and Central Michigan.
It's just pandering. It's a 9-year veteran. Greg Popovich always says, we don't draft you until you got over yourself. New England does the same thing. You got to get over yourself. We don't want to have to be your therapist, your mother, your father. We want men who work hard, want to win, are we guys, not me guys. Listen, Antonio Brown's incredibly talented. And if he was a 17-year-old recruit or a first or second-year guy, I get it. I mean, we all mature differently. Some evolve more slowly. I get it. You see the world differently politically, professionally, personally as we age. But I think it would be really frustrating to have a 9-year NFL veteran I couldn't trust with his feet. I couldn't trust with the equipment. I got to constantly put my arm around and pander to him. It's like babysitting. And I can just tell you, I take great pride in you don't have to kiss my arse all day. I don't have to talk to my agent all day. I don't have to talk to my bosses all day. Give me a show. Give me a mic. Get out of the way. I like people like that. I like men. You ever see that show? Bear Grylls goes out in the wilderness, and he's got a hunting knife, and he literally lives for 27 days. That's so male. I love that quality. I'm just going to survive out here. They do TV shows on that. They do TV series on that. Jason Bourne, John Wick. We do series on guys who can just handle crisis. Antonio Brown, he's a great player. He would wear me out. By the way, here's Gruden after practice yesterday, confirming AB is here now.
He's all in, ready to go. That's my understanding, and really happy to have him out here. He's a great player. It's not been a distraction to me at all. And this grievance thing is no laughing matter. It's something that's really important to him. And there's nothing wrong with supporting your players on things that they believe in. We also understand the league's position, but I'm confident that he's going to be a heck of a player for us and be ready to roll.
He's a TV star, man. You got a smile on even when he's delivering a gruff message. So here we go. AB is back for the Raiders. He is, by the way, a great player. That I'll never deny. Doug Gottlieb, Michael Rappaport, LeVar Arrington, all sorts of stuff today as we inch closer to the NFL season, college football this weekend as well. We're right in the middle of the summer. You got about 2.5, 3 weeks left, and then you got to button down the hatches. In fact, I was saying this yesterday to Joy as I drove to work yesterday, Monday actually. Traffic was bad. Why? Because summer's ending, kids are in school. So now it's a little more intense. Now you got to wrap stuff up. Now it's time for LegalZoom.com, okay? 18 years they've been doing this. Developed a straightforward way for you to protect what you care about most, family and assets. Okay, do you have a last will yet? Button it up. Do you have a living trust estate plan yet? Sounds confusing? Don't worry. LegalZoom, that's what they do. Online resources, a network of independent attorneys providing advice if you need more direction. Not a law firm. Won't be billed by the hour. Make things easier for those things you care about, your family, your assets. LegalZoom's last will and living trust estate plans are now available, and it is National Make a Will Month at LegalZoom. Special savings? Put in the code Colin, C-O-L-I-N, in the referral box at checkout. LegalZoom.com, where life meets legal.